Hey everyone, I'm Shannon. I'm going to do a quick tutorial on how I did the glow paint on my steps. Um, the first thing I did, if you look at these steps, I've already painted the steps and put bed liner on it, so it's got a real rough texture. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my palm sander here with 80 grit sandpaper on it and just barely knock down the high spots. I don't want to go all the way through it. I'm just going to knock it down. It's not going to be perfect, but it'll be good enough for what we're going to do, because after all, we're just going to cover this with paint. All right, here we go. There we go. So now that we have it sanded down, I'm going to go back with a real coarse bristled brush, and I'm going to wash it with Dawn dishwashing liquid to remove any oil or contaminants from the surface. Then I'll move to taping everything off. And so here what I'll do, there's no need y'all watching me wash the steps. So I'll come back after I've taped everything down to kind of show you what I've done, okay? See you shortly. All right guys, we're back. So what I've done when I've been off camera, I went ahead and taped everything up. You can see I just used this tape line on the front where the original kind of anti-slip tread was, and so I just used that as my guide. So really easy to put on there, and then of course just squared it off on the corners. I did take a lot of care, and I used a microfiber towel to really push the tape inside the ridges here. Now you likely won't have that problem unless you've added the bed liner to your steps. So if you haven't, you shouldn't have any problems with it. You'll be able to have a really nice straight line. But on our other steps when we did it, you know, there were a little bit of ripples and stuff in it from the bed liner and the tape not adhering to it well. If that happens again, I'm really not that worried about it. I think at the end of the day it's going to wear in real well, and so having a little bit of paint, kind of not a super sharp line on the front of your steps, to me it wasn't a deal breaker. So now we're going to put on our white primer or substrate. Real important for the glow paint that you use a white undercoat for the glow paint to really work well. You can put it on black or any color for that matter. You just won't get as good results. So what I chose here was the Kilts Premium Interior Exterior Primer. I thought it would do a good job of covering up the black bed liner, and probably do the best job I can find of it sticking to it, because it's polyurethane, so not a lot of paints will stick to it. So we're going to put this on, and we'll come back to you here shortly, so let's get to work. So the brushes that I've decided to use for this project were these small artist brushes. I just got them at Walmart. There was like a 5-pack, and there's like a 3/4, a 1/2 inch, a 1/4 inch, and then some really smaller brushes. You know, all these brushes are really intended for you know, for painting portraits and stuff, but they work just fine for this. I chose this because I didn't want to mask off the whole steps, and I knew with these smaller brushes I could be more precise and I wouldn't have to worry about making a big mess. So I mean, we'll do a little bit, you can watch me, then we'll go off camera, finish it up, and see you here shortly, okay? I found earlier when I was doing the other steps that, you know, of course with painting, when you're going against your edge here, you never want to go back. I did on the other steps, I did get a few drops of paint that I was able to wipe off. And then the big deal is just go slow. See, look, I just got one there. That's no big deal, it's just latex paint. So it'll come right off if we catch it before it dries. But that really just shows you, you know, you need to go slow and not try to rush the process. If not, you'll get paint everywhere, and you know, it's really not that big a deal with this latex paint because it's easy to clean up. But when you get to the glow paint, while you can, it's easy to clean up, it'd be really difficult to get all the residue off. So likely you would have little spots on your steps that kind of slightly glow, and probably wouldn't look too good. So there's one step. I can see it's probably, I think on the other steps I did 3 or 4 coats. I may think 3 coats. So we'll probably do 3 coats on this and let it dry. I usually give it about 15-20 minutes in between coats. Give it time to set up, and it gets a little tacky where the next coat kind of sticks to it real well. We'll do our other coats and come back to you when we get ready to put on the glow paint. So we'll see you here in a little bit. Thanks. All right, guys, we're back. Our white paint has dried. We've used 3 coats, and it looks like we've got good coverage on it. So on the lid, it says mix really, really well, because all this is a clear latex paint that has a europium powder mixed in with it. So what I did is I just took one of my extra brushes and I just put it on my drill and used it as a paint mixer to make sure the paint's mixed up really, 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 really well. So I just give it 10 or 15 seconds or so. Make sure you touch the sides with the brush and the bottom to get all the powder off of it. And then just wipe your brush, as much of it off as you can. And then we paint. So if you'll come up close here, you'll see that when you put the paint on, it's almost, like I say, it's a clear latex, so it's almost translucent. You really can't tell where you're putting it other than it's slick from the paint. One thing I did different on this side is on our front steps we used the blue, and I was told by the manufacturer that the blue doesn't glow as brightly as the green does. So we thought we would mix it up a little bit, and we would put the green on this back step. Then we could kind of compare the two. But you'll notice when you're putting it on, like it's very hard to see. The only way you can tell that you have it on there is it's slick from the paint. So manufacturer recommends about 15 minutes in between coats. Probably put 4 or 5 coats on. I think on the front steps we used 4 coats, but why not try 5? So I believe that's what we're going to do. Really nothing more to learn here other than just to be patient and don't drip it anywhere. Use very little paint and spread it on really, really thin, because again, if you drip this stuff, it's not going to hurt anything, but you're going to have glow paint everywhere. So just take it slow and don't make a mess. All right, guys, well, that's really all for this. Tell you what I'll do, I'll go ahead and put the rest of the coats on. There's no need to show you that. It's like watching paint dry, right? But what I'll do is tonight, after this dries, we will show you the difference between the green and the blue. And then you can make a decision on what color you want, or just tell me what you think. Tell me what you think you would do different. Give me some ideas on what you would paint with this stuff, because it's kind of addicting. You start painting with it and you're like, what else can I paint in this color with this glow-in-the-dark paint? My parents, we're on vacation right now, and so our RV's set up in their yard, and I've already done my mother's front steps to her house a lot like this, and we've been trying to think of other areas to use this glow-in-the-dark paint. So give me some suggestions. Talk to you later. Hey guys, so we're just putting our last coat on, and I did want to give a little tip, or I think it works for me, to try when you're putting this on. So you can see I've got a little bit on my brush like that. And so like we're on our 4th coat. So what I do is I put it on and I kind of daub it and then smooth it out. And I feel like I get a better coat that way. So you daub it. Let me get a little more here and show you. Kind of daub it like that and then smooth it out. I feel like you get a little bit heavier coat like that, and since you're working with a medium that is essentially just some powder embedded in a clear latex, it's sometimes hard to tell how much you're getting on there, but I think this way you'll get a better coat, or at least in my mind it feels like you do. So try that when you're doing it. And as you can see, it's getting dark and it's already starting to glow. But we'll be, and then also another tip that I was always told is to always pull your tape when your paint's wet. Give you a better line. And so that's what I'm going to do here. I'm going to, here in just a minute, when I get this last coat on. And so you see what I'm doing? I'm putting it on really thick, and then I'm just lightly going over it. I'm just kind of barely brushing it, just enough to lay it down where it won't run, but it's still pretty thick. So I guess that's about it. I'm going to finish up this last bottom step and pull the tape off, and then tonight I'll bring you guys out and show you the results on both sides. You've already seen the aqua. This is the green color that we were told would actually glow a little brighter than the aqua does. So it'll be interesting to compare the two. I'm hoping that it comes through under video well, but if not, I'll take some pictures and add to the post, and we can all see which one we think's better. Talk to you later. All right, guys, we're out here. It is, let me look at my phone. It's 6:45, and the paint's dry. It really didn't have much time to charge, so I hit it with the flashlight and kind of charged it up where we could get an idea of the different colors. I originally said we were going to do 5 coats. We ended up doing 4 coats. If you'll come up close, I'll show you what it looks like here. You can see how my my tape line wasn't necessarily very sharp. But again, that's something I'm really just not too concerned about, because at the end of the day, these are steps, and they're going to get dirty, and they won't always look this good, this clean. So, not really worried about the dirt and the lines on it. So here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna turn this flashlight off. I'm kind of pointing at it to kind of charge it up a little bit. Obviously, when you noticed when I was finishing up the video, it was almost dark, so the paint really didn't have much time to charge. So I'm hitting it with this flashlight to give it a little bit of help, so hopefully it shows up in the video. If it doesn't show up in the video very well, after I turn this light off, I will go back and take pictures with my phone. That'll give you a better idea. So these are the green steps. Looks like we just finished today. So the manufacturer was right. The green definitely does glow a little brighter than the blue does. Let me show you the difference. Like say if it was charged, if you left this out in the sun all day, how bright it would be. So I'm just going to shine a LED flashlight on one of the steps to give you an idea how bright it is. I'm just going to leave this on here for just a few seconds. The manufacturer says, I believe, 15 minutes to charge. So 15 minutes in full sun should last all night long. I did get a chance to ask my dad. He was up early this morning around 4, and he said he looked out his window and did notice that the front porch steps, the blue ones, were still glowing this morning. He said they weren't bright, but they were glowing. So now you can really get a good idea of how much brighter the glow-in-the-dark paint will be when it's fully charged. And I think it looks awesome. Let's walk over to the blue ones. Where you can compare the two. So the blue ones have a good color to them. I'll go ahead and do the same thing. I'll charge these. My parents' yard, I'm actually parked right under a pecan tree. So and I'm actually north facing, so we never get full sun at this location, but they still get bright enough to glow all night long.
Hello.
So there it is with the with one of the blue lights, or one of the blue steps charged. As you can see, in my opinion, the green definitely glows brighter than the blue does. But I don't know if I said this, you know, our Road Warrior is trimmed out in blue, so we thought it would be cool to have the blue. But I'm pretty happy having both of them now, having a green and a blue. So anyway, that's really all the tutorial that I have. If you have any questions, feel free to ask them. I'll answer any and all of them that I can get to. And honestly, if you like this video and you'd like to see more videos of kind of fixing cool stuff or doing cool projects, I've kind of enjoyed making this video and wouldn't mind making some more. So I'm sure you can't see me, it's dark, but I really appreciate you watching, and I hope you enjoy the video. Thanks.